Cubs, you can see the W behind me. Fly the W. They won today.
Except you've flown that on days where they've lost. So
I have, but still, it's playoffs. That's all that matters. They're 1-0. That's all that matters. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another No Sauce podcast with Kyle and John, and our special guest tonight, my good friend Danny Story from Elko, Nevada, joins us. Because, he was in Salt Lake on Thursday night, and we decided that he was going to join us for this episode since we have so much to talk about. First off, we got baseball playoffs that started today. John is obviously watching the Dodger game right now. Cubs, you can see the W behind me. Fly the W. They won today.
Except you've flown that on days where they've lost. So
I have, but still, it's playoffs. That's all that matters. They're 1-0. That's all that matters. And Danny is very happy that the Red Sox beat the Yankees, as am I, because
I think we all are.
Yeah,
absolutely. We all are. America's happy today.
For sure. As you can see, Danny's wearing his Oregon Duck hat because, the Ducks had they went to overtime, right? They won in overtime.
Two overtimes.
Two overtimes.
Yeah.
In the whiteout game at Beaver Stadium. So it was quite the weekend, sports-wise, all over the place.
Yeah, a lot of good college football for sure. I mean, college football weekend was already stacked up, and I think it came through for the most part. A few upsets, shook up the rankings. I mean, hey, what we're looking for, right?
Absolutely.
And this weekend should be fun too, right? Because you have another two top 10 matches, if I remember.
Indiana coming to Eugene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
yeah,
it's for you.
It's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be hot and heavy these next couple of weeks. So looking forward to that. I really want to see Indiana tested.
They were tested at Iowa. But you know what? Even though Iowa's not great, Kinnick Stadium is a tough place to play. They don't lose. I think they were 12-1 in their last 13 home games at that stadium. So. Yeah. Penn State went there, was it last year or 2 years ago, and they got beat as a top 10 team. So, they can beat teams at that stadium. So, to get out of there with a win, and now they got to go to Oregon. Ooh.
A tough place to play, man. I mean, if you've never been to Autzen Stadium, I mean, Beaver Stadium, there was, reports of over, some people said 113,000, but 107, whatever. That's twice the occupancy of Autzen Stadium, and Autzen Stadium's louder. It's a crazy place to play and a crazy place to go to. It's amazing. It really is.
It's that Nike money. Somehow they created something that helps amplify the noise,
even before that, though, really, I mean, even growing up when Oregon wasn't back in the Wheatley days, right? Pre-Joey Harrington, it was still a loud, crazy place to play. And they had some early AstroTurf, a lot like, the old Philly stadium, basically concrete with some carpet, down. And, that was before, obviously, way before Chip Kelly, obviously, and Rich Brooks took over and whatnot. But yeah, Autzen's always been a crazy place to play. We don't have a pro team. That's all we got,
Well, you were there. So you were there 2 weeks ago for the, I don't think you call it the Civil War anymore because they're not in the same league. So it doesn't have as much.
Oh, it's the Civil War.
It's still the same. It's still the same thing, Kyle. It's just like when Utah was in the Pac-12 and BYU was doing its own thing. We still hated each other. We still played. Rivalry games are rivalry games. Regardless of conference or not.
Right, absolutely. And the name change, whatever, that was all, the political whatever we were going through at the time, So, yeah, you don't want to call it the Civil War. It's still, you go to anybody that watches college football in Oregon that goes to, even if they don't watch college football, if they go to the U of O, if they go to OSU, that's absolutely the Civil War. They play for the Platypus Trophy. That's they've done it for 126 years. That's never going to change. You can call it from whoever can call it what they want to call it, but it's the Civil War up there in Oregon. They're 45 minutes away from each other. So
I call it the Civil War. That's all I've known it as, and that's all I'll ever know it as. Just like BYU Utah is the Holy War, and that's all I'll ever call it. I won't ever. As it should be. Yep. So. People can be mad at me for that, but you know what? That's the way it is. That's what it's been. I'm not changing my mind about that. I'm old school like that. So
no, that's a them problem. That's not a you problem.
yeah. Yeah. So John, did you watch the game on Saturday night too? The BYU Colorado game.
I did. And you know what? Wake
Were
up
you
call for
on edge
BYU.
for that first quarter and a half?
I was a little worried. I figured the defense would come back at some point, because they've done this in the past where they struggle early on in a game and then they kind of figure some things out. My concern was the defense going to go do something, or was the offense going to pick up and go do something? And sure enough, they did, and I think it ignited the defense a little bit more. They were given some time to kind of figure out what they needed to do, and I think they ended up putting themselves in a lot of three-man rush and then using that middle linebacker as kind of a spy, and I think it helped lock some things down. It was good to see. And again, I was a little disappointed in Isaiah Glasker not doing the dirty bird again in front of Dion when he picked it off to end the game. But
maybe he learned from was it last year he did it in the bowl game?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but here's the thing. You know that Coach Prime, although probably at the time was a little upset, he respected the heck out of him.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what he teaches his guys to do, is go out, play the game with heart, and have a little color to it, like put your own spin on it. And if it's a little flashy, if a little in your face, you've earned it. You make plays like that, you've earned it. So, him and what's his name? Jack
Kelly.
I mean, just those two, you put them on the field together, one of them's doing something. So to be that big and that mobile, I mean, that's the speed that they have in closing. It's gonna make for a lot of good fun plays in the Big 12 this year. Now, how does that stack up against some of these bigger teams in the Big 10 and SEC? We'll see. But again, that's the great thing about Big 12 football, is it's changing. But BYU's gonna do some things. Hopefully they learn a little bit from this past weekend, not to start off so slow. But it was good. It was worth staying up for.
I don't know, Danny. That sounds like a challenge to the Big Ten and the SEC. What do you think?
Oh, no, dude, I think the Big 12 is in trouble, man. Honestly, I definitely think it's the weakest conference. I mean, of any Power 5 conferences right now. ACC's
Really?
come a long ways.
Really? You're going to sit there and say the ACC is stronger than the Big 12?
Well, they got Miami and Florida State. So right now,
Florida State lost.
Chance.
Like,
I'm just
again,
early
your
on.
powerhouse Clemson. What do they look like?
Yeah, they don't look great. They're not Clemson of past. I mean, he's not bought in down there, right? He doesn't want to do the transfer portal and all that, and that's biting him in the ass. And that's why a lot of the old school guys got out. I just think early on the Big 12 doesn't look great. It is my personal feeling. I think that that could change later in the season. But right now, and I'm not a Big Ten guy, but that's where the Ducks are at. But I mean, that's the Big Ten might be the new SEC. I mean, we might be looking at 4 teams in the Big Ten in the college football playoff easily. So I just think that the Big Ten, what they've created up there, the travel's bullshit, like all that. I hate all that. Trust me. 100%. But I think where the Big Ten sitting right now, I think they're in the driver's seat right now as far as conferences go, in my personal opinion.
I think it's interesting, to have the discussion, right? Because every conference is going to kind of beat up on themselves. And, I think Big Ten wise I think it's top heavy. I think, the Oregons, the Penn States, the Ohio States, the Indianas, better. I think that the thing for me is, would the Big 12 be able to match up physically week in and week out with the Big 10's top tier? Like, would the Big 12's top tier be able to match up? Now, Iowa State beat Iowa, right? But that's the question that I think everybody always looks at, or I feel like I look at, is physically, how do the teams match up? I think the Big 12 is ahead of the ACC this year, simply because I think it's deeper based off of the fact that Clemson's down. Syracuse is now down and out because their quarterback's hurt. You have Miami, Florida State that are kind of holding it up, but NC State's not good. North Carolina is obviously not good anymore.
Sure. Yeah. Overhyped. Way overhyped. Absolutely. Yeah, they're not doing a good job down there.
Well, it'll be interesting to see because, Texas Tech has already beat Utah, but BYU has to play Utah, Texas Tech, Iowa State, and who was it, John? Who was the fourth one?
Oh, geez, you put me on the spot.
There was 4 of them right there. Boom, 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 boom. TCU. That's right. They had to play TCU too. So we're going to see how good BYU really is in the stretch. I don't know. It's hard to compare conferences because the styles of play are so much different.
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. I mean, it's like comparing eras, man. Like it really is. It's like you said, it's going to be based on matchups, right? Once we get down to the playoff, I mean, who ends up coming out of the top of those conferences? Who do they end up matched up against? And as always, I mean, are you playing good football at that time of the season? Are you healthy? I mean, we don't know a lot of that, but it's gonna shake out, and I really do hope that BYU does well. I cheer for them a lot, so I hope they play some good football.
Well,
for me, Kyle, real quick, I'll go back to what I said last week. There is certainly before I go back to what I said last week, there is certainly a different level in like the Ohio States, the Georgias, and so on and so forth. I know Georgia lost, but like those types of programs, and like if you threw in an Iowa State, an Arizona State, BYU, Texas Tech, could they go and compete? Probably not. That's why when Texas, Oklahoma, and all them were in the Big 12, you didn't see a lot of these other teams upsetting those teams a lot. Right, you had some good Texas Tech teams, you had some good Oklahoma State teams, some good TCU teams, but they weren't great, and they weren't year after year. So I'm not gonna say that anybody in the Big 12 could just simply go in and walk into these other conferences. But there's certainly, what I said last week was, there's certainly a bias between the Big 10, the ACC, and the SEC, and I think the big part of that comes down to the fact that they're in the East. You have a lot of these pollsters, a lot of these voters and stuff that they stick around and they're able to watch games because they're not at 10 o'clock midnight in the East. Most of these games are wrapped up by 6, 7 o'clock their time. Then they go write their articles and they go to bed, right? But even the Pac-12, when they were established, weren't getting the respect that they deserved because, again, they're in the West.
My next point, obviously, but go ahead, continue.
For ranking purposes, and this is ultimately what it comes down to, because when we get into the college football playoff, and this is where the Big 12 is going to struggle because, well, you've got a lot more teams in the West, and we get a lot of those late night games because, well, we can't compete with the SEC and the Big 10 markets. We're not going to get the viewership. If you're going to ask me who is the most entertaining conference to watch, it is the Big 12 right now. Every team, there's pizzazz, there's different styles, a lot of offense, a lot of heavy hitting. They are smaller guys, right? But they're fast and they're excited. And frankly, that's where the viewership is, right? Like if you put that in prime time, I'm willing to bet, and you have these voters actually watch some of these games, you're going to see more than just one Big 12 team make the college football playoff, because people will actually watch the games and say, hey, I respect that now. Unfortunately, Kyle, though, you have at least half of our games being played after 6 p.m., except at the very beginning of the season when some of the Big 12 teams go and play the ACC, the SEC, and whatnot. But you're never going to have, again, a Big 12 with 2, 3, 4 teams unless they go undefeated, because nobody else is really watching their games and watching the content that they put out.
Go ahead, Danny, with your thoughts.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, dude, like a lot of that to me is preaching to the choir, right? I'm a Pac-10 fan. I mean, obviously that's all we did forever is get no respect once again because we got the late night games, mostly. I mean, 7 p.m. games. Yeah, they ain't watching that shit. Like you said, they're already writing their articles, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, yeah, definitely lived a lot of that, and then beating up on ourselves, right? Like our schedule, like every year, I mean, we'd end up with 2 and 3 loss teams that could be contenders, right? With the new current system would have been advantageous for us because, once again, it's who you're playing, who you're scheduling against, excuse me, and things like that. So yeah, I agree with you. And part of maybe my bias, I haven't watched a lot of Big 12 games. I've watched, I piped in here or there, but that's what a lot of people fall into. So, I could be guilty of that as well. Maybe I haven't watched enough. I've just allowed on highlights and watched bits and pieces here. Maybe I haven't watched enough full Big 12 football to not give it much respect. And yeah, that could be very possible. Absolutely.
The thing with me is it's hard for me because the Big 12 is top heavy and the bottom half of the bottom 3/4 of the Big 12 isn't great. Like, if we're being real, I think that plays a part in it. I think late night games play a part in it. But that's the thing. You're always going to be fighting that because you're a Midwest to West conference, right? Like BYU plays at 8:30 on Friday night against West Virginia at home. I mean, who's going to be watching that? But luckily, it's a standalone game, so there's not much else going on.
Right.
But on the flip side of it, they did get a midday game with the Utah Texas Tech, which gave some exposure to the Red Raiders. Iowa State's been on some early games, so people get to see them, and I feel like that's it for BYU. It's just you're in the Mountain Time Zone. You're going to get stuck in those late games because those 7:30 p.m. primetime games Eastern time are going to be set aside for Big Ten or
SEC, yeah,
game. Like, there's no way that your Big 12 can be in that kind of game unless BYU goes into Texas Tech undefeated. But even then, I think that would be a big noon kickoff on Fox because that's who their main broadcaster is. So that's where they have to pick their TV rights, right? Like, and they have to go by what the TV stations, the broadcast stations want to put there.
They're going to tell you where you play. Once you get in that top 10, top 25, and you got those big matchups, I mean, your decision, that shit comes from the top. Yeah. And that's out of the administration's hands.
But that's the problem, though, is you can't get into the top 10 if nobody's watching your games. I mean, here's the thing. Legitimately, BYU wins this week. They're going to be 5-0, right? Then they go down to Arizona. I think they've got a little bit earlier of a kickoff on like a 6 o'clock kickoff, something like that in Arizona. They more than likely come out of that 6-0 going into Utah. Okay, now it's a rivalry game. Where do they put that game? What time is that broadcast at? If it's another 10 o'clock game, 8 o'clock game, or I guess 8 o'clock for us, but 10 Eastern, how's that going to benefit anybody? Okay, BYU, mark my words, will be 6-0 going into that rivalry game, and we won't even be probably top 16. Even though we will have beat up on a number of good teams. Here's a point, Kyle. Colorado, 2-3, right? Do you know what the record is of the 4 what do you call it? Division I teams that they played?
Who?
Do you know what their record is?
Colorado?
Yeah.
No.
The four whatever you call it, Division I teams that they played are 15-2.
Okay.
Georgia Tech undefeated, 5-0. Okay. Houston undefeated, 4-0. Wyoming, the only team that has a loss, they're 2-2, and then BYU 4-0. Colorado is not as bad of a team as they look on paper. But again, if you're not watching the games, how are you going to give a quality win to BYU there? You're just not. So unfortunately, the Big 12, and especially the likes of BYU, because they are out further west, that if they're not going to get primetime slots, nobody's going to watch their stuff, and their rankings will suffer. Even though they're a better team than what they are currently ranked at 23, the BYU's the only reason Utah gets the street cred is because they took advantage of the opportunities in the Pac-12 and getting into big games like the Rose Bowl and the Pac-12 championship. Okay,
Yeah, I will 100% disagree with you on that one.
You're going to disagree with me that people take past history of teams and use that for current rankings.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
that's what I'm saying.
Alone, BYU hasn't played anybody. They played a bad FCS team that's awful. They played a bad Stanford team that barely beat San Jose State. They played an East Carolina team that's okay. And then they got run over by Colorado. That's what people see. They don't see necessarily they see the win. That's why they moved up 2 spots.
But again, you're delegitimizing your argument because you have Utah. You have Utah do the same thing. They play against a horrible, just awful UCLA team, even worse than Stanford. Yes, they get the job done, just like BYU got the job done. Then they go play a horrible FCS school. They don't get as good of a convincing win
because the voters thought
again because of the past history. That's what they're judging it on.
Do with the past history this year, bud.
Then how do you come up with preseason rankings, Kyle? You've said it before. You look at what they did last year, and then what pieces do they still have? What pieces did they get rid of?
Would Utah be ranked if they looked at what Utah did last year? They didn't do anything last year
because they're looking at the quarterback and the people that came over from New Mexico. Yes, they are. You can't tell me that, Kyle.
It happens from this year, right? This year, not from what happened last year. Plus, they have their best defense they've ever had. Kyle Whittingham's even said that.
Well, you can say a lot of things, but they weren't on the field. They hadn't performed. So why are you ranking them so high? Because again, Utah has more credibility because of its past history in the Pac-12.
Love yet. Go beat Utah. Go beat Texas Tech. Go win those games and prove that you're the best. Plain and simple. Like, I mean, it's just. Yeah, like
I mean, as a football team, who gives a shit where you're ranked in week 5 and 6, man? You just got to go win football games, right? Like, I mean, I understand, you're saying the media coverage, this, that, and the other thing, but are you telling me if BYU's 6-0, you'd put them in the top 10? Honest question.
I would, based on what I've seen, the SEC, those teams that are the powerhouses in the SEC, they look shaky.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have BYU come out with 2 convincing wins here against West Virginia and Arizona, then there's an argument to be made that they should be in the top 10. 100%.
Okay. And we'll see on the football field, right?
But they're not going to. The thing is, being a BYU fan and being any fan of any school that hasn't been in the power conferences, preseason and early rankings matter. If you are not in the rankings early on, you have no chance at getting all the way up to the top.
In the BCS era, maybe.
Well, even in this era, I look back during the COVID era, right? Here's BYU, undefeated. They did everything that they could try to do to get a full schedule of games in. Then, yes, to the credit, because Kyle, I think, was there. They on 72 hours notice go to Coastal Carolina and lose. But where were they ranked? They were 11-0, 10-0 going into that game, and they weren't in the top 10.
Yeah, to be honest, dude, COVID was dog shit, so I couldn't tell you. I didn't pay a lot of attention to that stuff. But yeah, I get you.
Because
I get what you're saying.
I'm not saying right now that BYU deserves to be there. But what I'm saying is
they got a long ways to go.
Anybody in the Big 12 right now. Okay, there's let me pull it up. How many teams in the Big 12 are undefeated right now? Like 5 or 6, if I remember correctly. And our highest rank is 11th.
Yeah, I mean, can't speak on that. I'm not in the voting room. Don't know who all those guys have played. I kind of jumped the gun. I guess the Pac-12 is definitely the weakest power conference in football. To be honest,
Pac-12 ain't in the power, right? I think we refer to it now as Power 4. ACC, Big 12, and Big 10,
but I think they still have some rights though. They're still stuck to the old Pac-12. I think there's still some stuff that they're hanging on to. Yeah. They're trying. It's not working well, but
again, I just want a fair shake. You can't tell me that we've got 4 ranked teams. Or let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 undefeated teams right now in the conference. Houston, not even ranked. And we don't have one in the top 10. It's not because we don't.
I mean, like I said, I mean, we're at the point of the season. I mean, there's a lot of divisional football to be held, right? Like, so this is the time when those. I mean, you're heavy with the SEC and the Big Ten up at the top, but they're going to start playing each other, right? And that opens the windows for those squads that are coming through the back door, and I enjoy that. I really, like I said, dude, I'm a Pac-10 dude. So I mean that's the only way we could get in back in the day, right? So I enjoy that, that underdog mentality, and I think they should embrace that. Like literally, like in the locker room, like, hey, we're getting disrespected. We don't get ranked. Let's just go out there and play football, and play good football, good sound football, and we'll just let our game do the talking. And I think at the end of the day, if you do that, I think more than likely in this era of football, I think more than likely you can end up in the dance. And once you get in the dance, man, you just got to go win 3-4 more games, right?
Yeah, I just don't like the double standard that they put on the different conferences.
Sure.
Right? Your rankings should be straightforward rankings, right? If you're 0-2, why the hell are you ranked? I don't care what program you are. Give us the current rankings. Are they a top 25 team? I'll go back to what I said 2 weeks ago against Notre Dame. Okay, and they have won convincingly the last 2 weeks. Good for them. They're a 2-2 ball game.
Twice, once against a Big Ten team and once against an SEC team.
The only thing
doesn't matter. A loss is a loss.
The only thing that's going to fix that, I mean, you're trying to rank 126 teams or 132 teams, whatever you are. The only thing that's going to change all this is realignment. And you're going to have to basically make it where you've got your conferences that make sense, and you're going to have the top that's going to take over. And I'm good with relegation too. So, I mean, that you're not going to fix that top down thing until it's a more level playing field. And it's not going to be with this many schools and with the portal and what we're dealing with.
Here's the kicker, okay? I'm looking at those teams that are undefeated or even the ranked teams in the Big 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State played Iowa, won by 3, okay? Arizona State, I think, went to Mississippi State, so kudos there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else played a power conference team from a different conference, so we don't know how good they are against those other conferences. That's part of it too. You got to go play those games, and they're not.
But how many of those games though are scheduled years out in advance? And how many of those games do other teams not want to play?
Get those games scheduled with another conference. Have an ACC Big 12 football challenge. Have a Big 10 Big 12 football challenge. Do something.
When those conferences are okay doing that, that's the problem, Kyle, is you have a lot of those schools that are afraid to take those games because they don't want a blemish.
The SEC plays ACC teams every year. Big 10 team, Texas went to Ohio State.
Yeah, that's great. But when those games are already locked in, games are already locked in because of big money, you've got to go out and do what you can do with your schedule. And I use Texas Tech as a key example. Go look at Texas Tech. Yes, they haven't played anybody, but first game against an FCS, 67-7. Okay, then they play Kent State, 62-14. You tell me that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing on the field when they have those 2 wins? Then they play an Oregon State, 45-14.
Another power conference team.
Oregon State's garbage.
I get that. But they did what they needed to. It wasn't a close game. Then they go out and play Utah, who was ranked 16th at the time, and beat them 34-10.
That doesn't move the needle.
On the road. Kyle, I'm bringing up the same arguments that you made. Why are they not in the top 10? They did exactly what they were supposed to.
Played anybody, John? They did not play anybody in their non-conference schedule.
They did exactly what they were supposed to do with the schedule they had. You
But
have to take that into account.
Doesn't move the needle.
Because, Kyle, 10 teams can't go play Alabama in the same week. Georgia's not going to go play 15 teams in a weekend, Kyle. So if you can't get those games, then you got to go do what you can do with the schedule that you have in front of you.
But it's not going to
people need to respect that.
It's not going to move the needle.
I mean, for years, the SEC was playing 8 conference games and then filling their schedule with Appalachian State and shit like that.
And they were totally fine doing that at the time. Everybody was applauding them. These are the greatest teams in the country.
Right. Now, garbage. But
now when we do it,
but when
because we're not allowed those games,
national championship in their league, but
you got to build those programs. I mean, I'm not saying BYU is not a good solid program. I'm not saying that by any means. Don't get that twisted. I'm just saying, a lot of these programs, you have to build sustainability, and that means you have to be there year in, year out. Yes, TCU had a few good years, right? I mean, even go back to the Boise State, but they're still not that top tier, right? They're not those powerhouse schools. And unfortunately, with the NIL and the portal, the rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer. So that's why I think that there needs to be a real look at, complete realignment of college football.
Yeah. I think we can say, though, that there is some parity this year in college football from years past. I really do. I think there's a lot of it, to be honest with you. And I don't think Ohio State's invincible like they were when they ran through the college football playoff last year, especially with a true freshman quarterback.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, that Oregon-Indiana game is going to be a good one. I think that Alabama beating Georgia in Athens, on Saturday after losing to Florida State to start the season, Virginia beating Florida State, who got caught looking up ahead to Miami this weekend, right? It's just, I think there's a lot more parity in college football than people think. I will be honest about that. But I also think that it matters who you play. And I know that maybe schedule's been set out for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, but you also have to make adjustments in this era if you want to get the publicity that you think your team deserves. So, but yeah, conference play is a whole different beast. Teams will go and eat each other up. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Big 12, 2 teams playing the Big 12 championship have 1 or 2 losses at least. I don't think we're going to get an undefeated Big 12 team. I don't know. It's all subjective. Did somebody leave?
Yeah.
He got kicked
he
out.
fell off.
You there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least he fell off. His camera didn't go out and show his branded stuff like mine did last week.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, I'm with it. Go ahead.
Let's get off the freaking college football. It'll play out the way it's supposed to play out, right?
It won't.
A lot of football left.
Never does. It never does. Let's be honest. It never does. Because, again, I will end it, but you can never convince me in half of America that there's not just a big old butt kissing out there for the Big Ten and the SEC. To have 9 SEC teams ranked, 7 of which are in the top 15?
That'll change.
We say
play
that.
each other.
We say that. But I'm willing to put good money that by the end of the season, after everything's played out, there will still be 7 or 8 ranked SEC teams in the top 25.
Ooh, that sounds like a bet. I don't know.
So again,
we'll have to talk about that.
I get it. Great SEC. You love your money, love your whatever. Same thing Big Ten. But again, you cannot ever convince me that there is not favoritism showed to those conferences simply because they've got the contract with the ESPN. They've got nothing else going on at those universities except for athletics. Nothing else that's driving people to those universities other than, hey, I want to go watch big time football, big time basketball, big time baseball, and other sports. There's nothing. So again, you'll never convince me otherwise.
If BYU was in the top 10 right now, Danny, he wouldn't be ranting about this.
No, I would be, because half my argument wasn't just about BYU. I feel for the Iowa States. I feel for the Texas Techs of the world, right? They were set up like Iowa State did great last year, and they're undefeated now. They opened on the road in Ireland, so like, why aren't they up there? Because again, no respect for the Big 12.
Well,
Can't convince me otherwise.
Okay, fine. I'm not going to try to. Anyways.
Nope.
I'm sure the grad students that don't play sports down the SEC are excited about that comment. But yeah, they just play sports. That's cool.
Listen. That's because those are the only grad schools that they could get into.
All right, that's fair. Nah. So what are we moving on to, Kyle?
I don't know. That was such a good debate, though. Good times.
I like it. No, that's good times. Everybody should be able to have that kind of discussion and be okay with it. Why not?
Yeah. And I'm never going to win because I'm on here with two Big Ten guys. So.
I'm not a Big Ten guy. I'm a fucking Pac-10. Oh, shit. Can I say that on air? Sorry, my bad.
Now we just got demonetized. Good
I'm
job.
a freaking Pac-10 guy. Sorry, Kyle. My bad. Sorry.
Unfortunately, you're in the Big Ten now, and Purdue, they're in the Big Ten as well.
Oh, Purdue. I love it.
I think, you know what? I think it needs to be one of those things where the conferences need to go and they need to have like a relegation type deal where
absolutely I agree.
The bad FBS teams get dropped down to FCS and the best FCS teams get moved up to see what happens and kind of
like the top 72 or something and keep them in the FBS and then let's just work on the bottom. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like I'd be okay with that if it wasn't all regionally located, because right now the argument is what? Take SEC and the Big Ten and go form your own conference. Essentially, your own level.
Honestly, something like that. But
because now you've just alienated over half the nation.
I mean, the schools should have the FBS schools or the Power 4 conferences or whatever should have. What's up with your phone, Danny? Why does it look like you're so big? Did you get frozen again?
Yeah. Walk back towards the light, Danny.
Danny's Wi-Fi sucks.
I'm back.
Yeah, your Wi-Fi is not good. It's almost as bad as mine.
Oh, come on, Ellie. Get thrown out at home.
This is so fun. Hey, you know what we can talk about? Small ball that I saw in the Cubs-Padres game today. I was pretty happy about that. That's baseball right there, right?
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit? Eighth inning. I think it was the eighth inning. Matt Shaw. Well, let's wait till Danny comes in here. I don't know what's going on with his phone. Get to your Wi-Fi, son. Can you hear us?
Nope.
Nope.
He gone forever.
He gone.
What you should do is if you comes back. Yeah, I was gonna say you should drop. Hey, speaking of small ball, I know you've got a story, but we'll wait till Danny gets back for you to tell that one. But this weekend, doubleheader for my kids' team. First executed suicide squeeze of the season. It was amazing. It was amazing. The kid was like freaked out. He's like, "No, coach, no." But it's like bases loaded with I think we had one out, and I was like, "This is the kid that was up. He doesn't have a lot of power. He's not going to put it out of the infield. He's going to hit it into a ground ball if he puts it in play. So more than likely could be double play situation." So I had him bunt. I had my guy steal from third. Safe. The kid that bunted ended up getting, out at first, but moved the runners over. Now second and third, next guy up, got a base hit, scored 2. Small ball, man. That's where it is.
Wow. What a story.
And now Danny's back because he reconnected the Wi-Fi.
Hey, your Wi-Fi is back on. Does your Wi-Fi suck or what?
No, it shouldn't. I have fiber internet, so yeah, there should be no reason it sucks. I don't know. I relocated a house. Maybe Kobe opened some shit. I don't know.
I mean, you are in Elko though, so.
You know what? I like Elko. Leave it alone, all right?
It's out here in the hills a little bit, but I mean, it's not as bad as everybody thinks.
You know what?
Where I moved from, that's a little bit different.
Almost as bad. Okay, so I'm back here in the sticks.
John, you are. John, you are. I'm surprised you guys have power right now. I think it was raining earlier today. You guys normally lose power and Wi-Fi or internet at that point.
No, we don't. Anyways, so like I was saying before you decided to leave the show for a minute, Danny.
Yeah.
I loved seeing some small ball played in the Cubs Padres game today. Like it was awesome.
Yeah.
8th inning, Dansby Swanson on first. 8th inning, Matt Shaw comes up, bunts him over to second, and then he gets to third. I can't remember how he got to third, but Nico Horner sacrifice fly made it 3-1, and that was what you wrote, right? So love small ball sometimes, but I think
all the time.
Armstrong pulled the golden sombrero today. I think he had 4 Ks. He might have pulled a hat trick. He might have only had 3, but I don't know if you guys saw that game.
Well, actually, myself and Yak were at Wingers eating lunch today, watching that game. So it was. I like to see that, and even the World Series last year was, kind of mind-boggling. With the small ball that was played. Like, I hate to say it, Dodgers Yankees. Not my World Series I'm looking for, but that was a goddamn good World Series, and they played a lot of small ball, and that's why I like it. And I think they should get back to that. I mean, that's what wins games. And we're in the playoffs. They're going to play baseball like it was meant to be played. Piss on the launch angle and striking out more than you get on. Like, let's go. Yeah, let's go play baseball.
Yeah, that's my gripe about Pete Crow Armstrong is, dude is trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark every at bat with his big swings, instead of realizing, dude, you are more valuable being on the base paths than you are always hitting.
Dude, that guy can fly.
Like, you caused so much chaos there. He scored from first on a pass ball last week.
Yeah,
not from first. He scored from second. Excuse me. On a pass ball. So that's my gripe about him. Like, slow down, dude. Just try to get on base. If you hit one, it goes great. But like, that's not you. That's not what we need. Oh, good times. Speaking of the Dodgers, the videos that they've had of Clayton Kershaw, like when he walked off the mound at Dodger Stadium for his last regular season start there,
right?
And the one he had in Seattle this past weekend, man, I'm not even a Dodger fan, but like tears.
You cried, little baby. You're crying right now.
I am, because he's been around. He's a Hall of Famer. Like he's done it right. Let's just put it that way. He's done it right. No scandals, no nothing. Just pitched, done his job, been humble about it, and
except in the playoffs for the most part.
Well, and here's
was the best thing ever too.
And that's the thing that I will say is, yes, he has had his struggles in the playoffs, but he owns up to it.
Absolutely.
Like, he doesn't shy away from it, and like he's like, yes, I need to get better, and he has had, like, the Dodgers have been completely different when they've had him out there performing well. Just different team, but he's I'm gonna miss that guy. Like him and Freddie and them that like bring their kids to the ballpark. When we were out in St. Louis this summer, went to a game, and a little bit rainy at the beginning. Field is empty except there's Clayton throwing batting practice to his kid out in the outfield. Like, that's the stuff that I'm just like, yeah, what, even as busy as he is, being on the road and stuff like that, to spend time with your kid and doing something that that you obviously love, but they love too. Like, yeah, I'll get a little teary-eyed.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm a Freddie guy, dude. I'm a Braves fan. So yeah, no, I mean, hate him being there, but he's the hard not to root against. And Clayton Kershaw, I mean, dude, he's had a great career. Absolutely. Stand-up guy, done it the right way, like you mentioned. He's first ballot.
Yeah.
100%. I will never forget, though. I believe it was game 3, or maybe it's game 6. How many games did they go in 2016 against the Cubs in that NLCS? Was it 6 games?
I think it was 6 games.
He was pitching at Wrigley Field, and Wilson Contreras hit a laser out of Wrigley Field off of him, and he just stands there and just, the glove on the hip, that look on his face. I'll never forget it. But yeah, Clayton Kershaw. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's going to be a Hall of Famer at some point.
He will be a first ballot. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He might not be a unanimous vote.
Sure.
But dang near close. Like,
Yeah, he'll have a bunch. He'll have some fellows go against him. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was going to use a different word, but trying to clean it up here for the old pod. So yeah,
it's a family-friendly podcast.
Yeah, I got it. I'm getting there.
We haven't dropped an F-bomb or a GD bomb
a couple times.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I know. Hey, you've seen some mic'd up stuff. That's we typed that in.
That is another thought. Danny is one of my main characters when we mic people up, especially at tournaments. It's been fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's a lot of fun. And
I bet it is.
We get people telling. I think what's his name, Troy, who umpired at Steph's that one game for us because you're umpired.
Oh yeah. Show. Yep. Yeah. No, he was at his kid's soccer game. Like shit happens. Can I say that? Is that unallowed? Sorry.
Troy, comes up to me because I'm catching, and he's like, "Dude, keep your content coming. I love seeing that stuff. It's hilarious." And I get that a lot. Like people love it and they enjoy it. So we're gonna keep doing it. And
it's all about having fun, man. It's all about having fun. Like, I mean, why are we doing this if we're not enjoying ourselves, right? Like, we can all get down and get sideways and whatever. And I'm competitive as the next guy, but it's all about having a good time.
Must be nice.
Oh, no invite. Oh, we got no invite. Oh, yeah, we got that. Go ahead, Kyle.
Because Kyle's just really worried because if he mic'd me up, it would be nonstop crap talk on him. Like.
Hey, I don't pull any punches. I told him to quit pouting last weekend, and I mean, it cut it off right at the end. But
I even put it in the mic. I put it in the video. So, it's funny though. It actually was going to start out as Danny and I at the Fiesta Days tournament. We were going to be like a play-by-play and an analyst on it. And then it turned out to be in mic'd up because I couldn't figure out the mics and things like that. And my phone got hot. So it stopped live streaming.
And then I had to go pitch because our other pitcher sucked. So I had to go do that for a minute.
It's a mic'd up situation, and I've just run with it. I got these little wireless mics that you can, put on a magnet, on your shirt. They clip as a magnet, and they connect to the GoPro or my phone, whichever ones I'm using. And yeah, it's been fantastic. It'd be nice if I had a videographer that would like have their camera focused on the person mic'd up the whole time, but we don't, and I don't have that money to do that. So kind of stuck there, but it's a great time.
I'm shooting excuses. That's all.
Maybe John's got some time. John, you want to be a videographer?
Listen, you don't want me being a videographer because I would not make you guys look flattering.
That's perfect. That's what we're looking for. True content.
But the other thing though is like, I'm not gonna come out if I'm not playing. So if I'm not gonna get an invite to play, y'all can find your own dang videographer. So
that's on Kyle.
Yeah, that's 100% on Kyle. Like, well, I mean, it's kind of the things I've done for this guy.
He's so busy coaching two of his sons, and his daughter is in cheerleading now. So they've got so much going on that I never know when the guy's free.
Yeah, but does he ask? Ask if he's asking, "Hey, John, you free this Wednesday?" Ask him if he's asked that. The answer is no.
I asked you last Wednesday when I was going to the game.
Yeah, because you were already going. Or you were free tonight? Like, oh, hey, John, I'm at a party right now. You want to drop on by? Dude, I am almost a 40-year-old man with 4 children. Okay? I need to have things planned out maybe more than 10 minutes ahead of time.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Well.
We'll get the seat of our pants here.
Yeah.
Love it.
On you, Kyle. It all comes back to Kyle.
Oh, so good. So good.
Unfortunately, the world revolves around Kyle. Not because he's big and fat or anything like that, but simply because he's just the linchpin of everything.
Hey, we have got it out though. Danny knows this because I told him I have a bet with him, and you're going to be mad at me, John, but we're going to Mesquite in November to play softball. I told him I'm going to lose 20 pounds by that time, or else I'm going to buy him and a couple other guys around. So I have to go and lose 20 pounds in a month. Well, a little less than 2 months. So
sick invite. Dude. You know what I'm not doing in November?
What are you
coaching
not
baseball? No, that's cool. Sick invite.
Well, have a middleman then, Danny, because he can play middle if he can still move.
Hey, can I move? I can move more than you can.
That ain't true.
That's not a high bar. Don't compare yourself to that.
Are you
kidding me? Come on, man. I do pretty good as a leadoff hitter. You got to admit, I get on base quite a bit.
He does. I mean,
because everybody's playing way back, like, oh, scoop back. This guy's going to hit really far. And then you bunt it in front of him.
Hey, not often do you use a pinch runner for your leadoff hitter, and we do every time. But it gets fun. That's all that matters.
I get no wonder. Leave me alone.
No wonder you can move so well because you have a speed up runner.
Yeah.
Garbage. 43. Why wouldn't I?
I don't know. I played with a lot of 43-year-old guys that run for themselves.
I don't care. I'm not them. I'm not those guys. I'm myself. Leave me alone.
Do they allow little rascals on the field to just like putt your way down to first?
You're a funny guy. You're hilarious. Danny, we're gonna mic ourselves up at a Utah Utah Mammoth game one of these days. Me and John are, because he's got season tickets.
Oh, yo. Hey, when are we going? Sick invite.
This is the first time meeting you, Danny. So
I got you. No, I went to some Grizzlies games, dude. That was hella fun, man.
The Grizzlies aren't in Salt Lake anymore.
They are for this one more year.
Is this their last year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Didn't know that.
Yep. This will be their last year, and then they're off to, I think, New Jersey. Team was sold off. So
even though we've got 50 minutes here, we're not going to talk about it on this one. We're going to have Danny come back because he's got to tell us about his umpiring experience that happened at the America First Ballpark.
Oh yeah, good times.
Yeah, it's not necessarily. There's some funny parts to it, but it's like a serious thing about where Major League. What do they call? You kind of break that down just a little bit.
I mean, if you want to get into Major League umpiring, right? Like this is your avenue. Unless you're ready to just like be out of school and that's what you're going to go do, is you're going to head out and do the 6-week all-in umpire school and then maybe make it. These little umpire camps are where it's at. So they do 5 or 6 of them a year around the nation. They ended up picking like 60 qualifiers that go to Jackie Robinson in Florida that get an invite basically to the camp. So, I mean, you got to still kind of be all in, but I mean, it was humbling. A lot of good instructors with a lot of very cool stories, a lot of good experience. Umpire from the Bartman catch was one of my mentors there. But it's really cool. But I mean, if you want to get into umpiring, I mean, that's your avenue, and you got to be willing to just break yourself down and learn the way they want to teach you. So yeah, we can go deeper into that, but it was a great humbling experience and a great opportunity for, you young umpires.
Yeah. I want to get into that. So another episode, we will have that discussion about it. Cause when he was telling me about it on Thursday night, when he was in town, that was way cool. So, really good stuff there, and we'll look forward to that one. Any other hot takes before we finish up? We have been going for almost an hour now, so
no, not sports related hot takes.
What's the expectation? I mean, I don't know how long you trying to go to an hour, or are we trying to fill time here, or what? I mean,
I don't know. I'm just end it whenever. It's just fly by the seat of our pants. That's what we've been doing on this podcast the whole time.
The best way to operate. That's what I did.
100%.
Absolutely. Just jump out and have a good time. I mean, what else is going on out there in sports that you guys like to talk about? I mean, you're into the travel ball now, John, right?
Fantasy football sucks.
Some of us are actually good at that.
You know what?
That's super frustrating. I mean, I'm really good in my league, but it's still frustrating.
I hate it.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Some of us have a few of these there, Kyle.
You suck.
Some of us have a few of those.
No way.
I don't know how to screen share some stuff, but I know my fantasy football bet was a little more permanent on my last 2 competitors. So there's my brother and his son both have 49er tattoos on their ass.
No, that's fun. Unfortunately we have a lot of people in my fantasy league that don't want to own up to the punishment.
Yeah.
Because I was the 9th ranked guy. It's BS that I made it into the Sacco, and I shouldn't have been because I wasn't that bad this year, and so I'm not going to take a punishment.
Yeah.
Like, own up to it. The playoffs are the playoffs, right? If so, one thing my league does is we're 12 teams, and we do eight teams make the playoffs. So 1 seed plays the 8th seed, and there's a lot of people that don't like that because it's like, well, it doesn't matter if you're first or 8th, you make the playoffs. So then what? Like, the regular season doesn't really matter at that point.
That's how brackets work.
And it's like, what they want is they want us to go to 6 teams and then have first and second have a week break, like a bye.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? So my fantasy guys can rest on the bench? Like, that's
Right?
stupid.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's play. Let's play. Like, whatever happens, happens. So at the same time, like, if you're 9th ranked team going into the losers bracket, all you got to do is win 1 time. And if your team is not the worst, you should be able to win 1 week.
Yeah.
And if you don't, own up to the punishment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I had the same thing in my league. I had dudes we had 12 people in the league, and they went with 7 made the playoffs. And I was like, that's retarded. Why don't we just have 8? And he's like, oh, you telling me the NFL is retarded? And I'm like, well, that's a different discussion, first of all. But it just makes more sense. Why don't we put 8 teams up in the upper bracket and 4 teams in the lower? It's pretty easy math.
Like, I get what they're trying to do. Like, hey, the number 1 seed gets a bye, everybody else has to play. But, like, why? Like, why?
Not
what does
in
it matter?
fantasy football and actual football, I would have an argument, right? This is fantasy football. What are we talking about here? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
No. Last year I won, and my commissioner, who I beat in the championship, is petty as hell and decided, hey, I'm going to pay this guy out in coins. So he went to banks all over the valley and got pennies and quarters and dimes, and he filled this box full of coins to pay me basically $2,000 worth.
Oh yeah, $2,000.
Like, there you go.
Shut up.
1,500. I can't remember the total. It was over $1,000, but in freaking coins. So I had
That's
to
a
go to
lot
my
of coins.
bank.
That's a lot of coins.
It was heavy. It was like 30 or 40 pounds.
But good for him. Good for him. Hats off to that dude.
You know how I paid my dues this year?
In coins.
Coins?
No, because I'm not a jerk.
No, you should be.
I've sent him a Venmo because I'm nice. But guaranteed, at some point, he's gonna get it. And it's gonna come to him when he's not expecting it. And I may return the favor, or I can just gloat again and win the league again and be like, "Hey, do your worst." Oh well.
Hey, like I said with the rankings, just go win games, man. Just go win games and see how it folds out at the end. Attaboy.
Yep. All right. We're going to finish up with this. Here's our hot takes for the night.
Kyle gets to decide this, by the way. So, Danny, if you're ever on,
I'm not even prepared.
He never runs any of this by me. He's just like, hey, I'm choosing the hot take.
I asked him, what are we talking about? And I got nothing. So it's cool. I'll come in hot. Let's go.
It's funner that way.
No, I love it. Yeah, let's go. More genuine.
Who is winning the World Series?
Mariners.
Ooh, I like it. John, in your unbiased opinion, who's winning the World Series?
To be honest, Phillies. Yeah.
Kyle.
I mean, in my opinion, it's either going to be the Phillies or the Dodgers.
I'm a National League guy, dude, but I'm cheering for the Pacific Northwest. Big dog.
I mean, I would love to see the Mariners win it. It would just be nice for their franchise and whatnot. But there's a lot of guys on the Phillies that are deserving of it. Schwarber, Trey Turner, my boy Bryce Harper. I mean, my kid's a Phillies fan, and that's one of the big reasons why is because Bryce Harper. I'd love to see him win a championship, just like I'd love to see Mike Trout, but they can't even make the playoffs. So
yeah, agreed.
But the Mariners would be fun. it sucks that like they'd win a championship without Ken Griffey, because growing up in that era, but it'd be good to see them win it.
And a lot more guys. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sean and Damian would love to see Bryce Harper go win a World Series.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I hate to say this one.
The Cubs.
No, I hate to say this one, but I think the Brewers.
Oh, I like it.
I think
Brew Crew Mariners. Brew Crew Mariners.
They had the best record in baseball. Okay. And quietly, they just have a great pitching staff and just guys that go out and play. No hoopla, no superstars, no. That might catch up to them in the playoffs because you want to have that superstar power.
Sure, and experience.
On the flip side of it, I think the Brewers finally get it done after rolling to the NL Central Division again. And, I mean, it goes to show that the NL Central Division was arguably the best division in the National League with 3 teams in the playoffs this year. Mm-hmm. And 2 of those teams were in the top, 3 in the record-wise. So I'm going to say the Brewers.
Win it for Harry Doyle.
Yeah. Or, yeah. Win it for Harry Doyle.
I mean, here's the tough thing, though, Kyle, is you've got the Mariners, the Blue Jays, the Brewers, and the Phillies sitting there right now not playing for a couple days. I love being a 1 seed going into a tournament, but you're sitting for like 4 or 5 days not playing. That gets you out of the norm of the regular season. And I don't know that I'd want to be in that position. I kind of like where like the Cubs and the Dodgers, although the Guardians lost today, I think they come back and they win that series. I think they beat up on the Tigers. I think the Tigers are one of those where like they lost it going down the stretch. Like they should not have eked into the playoffs. They should have won that outright, and that they barely got in by the skin of their teeth. I don't think that they have it after today's game. I think the Guardians come back, win 2, and then they're on to face the Mariners. And I think they take that momentum from the last part of the season, last like month of the season where they gutted it out and made it in.
I know that you'll be mad at me for saying this, but as long as it's anybody but the Dodgers and Yankees in the World Series, I'm happy. I'm so nothing against the Dodgers. They've got one of the highest paid. Isn't it the highest payroll? Both the Yankees and the Dodgers have the highest payrolls in baseball.
Yep, 100%.
They've won what they should do with those rosters, but I want to see something different. Seeing the Mariners or the Blue Jays or I don't even want the Phillies to be in it. That's why I say I want the Brewers to play in the World Series because it's somebody different, right?
Yeah.
That's
like a Big 12 school.
Yeah, something like that.
Whew.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But that's
full circle.
First circle. And that's my pick is the Brewers win the World Series this year.
Yeah. Brewers Mariners. Let's go. Let's get something new in there. Absolutely.
I'd be okay with it. I wouldn't mind seeing the Blue Jays. That takes me back to like the 90s.
Oh, don't stop. I'm a Braves fan, dude. Just leave the Blue Jays out of it. Let's not go there.
The World Series T-shirt with like the team on the back.
Oh,
Roberto Alomar, Joe Carter. Yeah.
Joe Carter, yeah.
Oh, Joe Carter. Damn.
That was fun. That was a fun group. Home run. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Yeah. Appreciate that. Way to just murder my 90s Braves. Yeah, that's a whole episode on its own.
Oh, this has been a great episode. Danny, thank you for fighting
Appreciate
through
you guys.
Issues, and John, always a pleasure. And everybody else, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the No Sauce Podcast
with John and Kyle.
And our co-host Danny. He's a co-host.
The other dude.
Please make sure you like and subscribe. Click the links below. We got a couple links there. If you go to those, you can go to Amazon, whatnot, buy some stuff. But again, click those links, subscribe, give a thumbs up on this video. Check us out on Spotify, any of your podcast places. We're there. If you don't want to watch our ugly mugs, at least go listen to us. And thanks for enjoying the No Sauce Podcast with John and Kyle.
With Kyle and John, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Later, dudes.